Welcome, everybody. I don't ever start the podcast like this, but I'm doing it now. This is Mitch and Mike's VO Journey. If you're watching, you're going to notice that we're missing somebody, and it's not Jim Fronk. Hi, Jim.
I'm here. You're here.
Who's missing?
You know, I've watched the show numerous times, and it's so unforgettable, obviously.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'm sure
Mike's
it'll
not
come
here.
to us eventually.
Oh, yeah, okay. I figured it out.
Yeah.
It's
Wait,
Mike.
The show's called Mitch and Mike.
Mike.
And if you're Mitch,
There's a
must
Mike.
be Mike.
Yeah. And
no, wait. I have a Mike.
Is it spelled M-I-C-K-E?
No, but I mean, Mike Cunningham's website is M-I-C Cunningham. So
M-I-C Cunningham?
Yeah, something like that.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, but I think it's like M-I-C Cunningham or, yeah, so.
Wow.
Anyhow, Mike's not with us tonight.
No, he's not feeling so hot. This is a first, I think, and we decided to run it.
Yeah,
run
why
it
not?
without him.
I'm down.
Which is, yeah.
Why not?
Me and Jim have never hung out one-on-one, so you get to, this is the freshest, fresh thing you may have ever seen, or at least this week.
I think the closest we have hung out is as we were hanging up from a Tada monthly meeting,
Yeah.
and we might have been the last 6 remaining to hang up. So that might have been the closest to us actually hanging out alone.
You may notice, Jim, in a group of 6, I don't have much to say because everyone, I was not at the dinner table of 12 when I was younger. I didn't have to, I'm an only child. I didn't have to yell over everybody. It was, how is your day? You talk about it. How is your day? You talk about it. And then it got to me or, whatever order.
Gotcha.
So
Right.
I can be a quiet guy in groups. You, in fact, are the opposite. You can take the stage. Actually, that's my first question for you. We're just going to roll in. There's no intros. We already heard your story.
This is completely off the cuff here, so we'll just go with it.
We already heard Jim's story. Go back.
I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Different meaning?
Yeah. I wouldn't be alone here. I'd have someone you actually love and care about here. Just to give you a chat about
I got you.
How about that? But if you have a problem, we'll talk. Sure. How did you get the confidence to not only sort of grab the mic in a room of 6, 12, 20s, 75, but also kind of get in on everything? And we'll talk more about all the things you're in on in a bit, but how did you build this confidence, or where did it come from, you think?
Believe it or not, when I was a kid, I had a speech impediment.
I don't believe it.
I was the stuttering boy.
Okay.
I would change words. I couldn't spit things out. Every now and then, if I get going fast, I'll stammer on a few things. But I was really had a stuttering problem.
Okay. And that's like brain, right? That's not like, that's something deep in the brain that makes people
really
stutter.
Deep in the brain. I don't know. Maybe I was touched by an uncle. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, perfect.
I
We'll
do
get to that
remember,
too.
There was one time, and God, I can't believe I'm telling the story, but 4th grade.
Okay.
I'm doing my first oral book report, and it was on volcanoes.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a stuttering problem, and I could not spit the word volcano out. I looked at my best friend, lived 2 doors down, Jerry Barrett, and I said, "What's this word?" And he said, "Volcano, stupid." And I peed my pants.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, the fact that I do this now is crazy.
It is.
I loved radio. I loved listening to 68 RKO. It was a station in Boston. It was an AM rock station, one of the first ones. Actually, Dale Dorman, he and another gentleman invented Top 40 radio, sitting in a bar listening to everybody listened to the same 20, 30 songs, paying money for it throughout the night.
Yeah.
There's a format, top 40. So
Yeah.
that's
It
how
wasn't
top-
Casey Kasem.
It was not Casey Kasem,
Okay.
but there is a long distance dedication going out to Maybelline. No, but it was Casey Kasem. That's funny. So I always loved radio. I got to a point where I've always been, I'll say, the life of the party. I don't call myself that, but I've always been a person that commands the room sometimes, a lot when he walks into it. And I was at an 11th grade president candidate, someone running for student council party. And this guy's brother asked me if I ever thought about being a disc jockey, because I was just doing my stuff. And when I did voices or imitated things, I didn't stutter.
Oh, wow.
And I said, sure. And I talked to the radio guy, and he asked me for a demo tape and an air check tape. I'm like,
What do you
what's
mean?
that? So
Yeah.
he explained to me. So I took my little Peter Brady recorder. We have to push the big square. That's probably later than your time, earlier than you, but the
little
big
bit.
square ones, we had to push down record and play at the same time. And I went into my closet with my Precore 8-track stereo system. And I actually played Led Zeppelin. We were speaking about Zeppelin off air, but I played Led Zeppelin, and I came out of that song, and I did a little thing into a fake weather, into a thing, and I threw together this 45-second air check demo.
Stutter
And they
free.
gave me the gig. They gave me the gig. I became Jumpin' Jim Jacobs.
So is that
I'm not sure if you froze or if I froze, but I'm going to
Oh.
continue.
one of us is frozen? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm back. Okay.
I'm going to turn my
just
Wi-Fi
got,
off.
we just got like 2 feet of snow, so it's probably on my end. But anyhow, I became Jumpin' Jim Jacobs.
Is that a
for
character?
It was a disc jockey name.
Okay, but does that, to not stutter, did you have to turn that into a character?
No, behind the
Okay.
microphone, I didn't stutter.
Okay.
But behind the mic, I was just, granted, it was radio voice back then, because the 80s was all about the big radio voice. So it was
Yeah.
like, it was like WLHE 935-3378. That was just so-and-so with blah, 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 blah. Uh-huh. Yeah, give us a call, make your request. So it was like back in those days. And I became Jim Jacobs because they didn't want anybody to know that a high school kid was working at this radio station. Now, it was just a local cable radio station. Back in the day, probably before your time, when we had just cable TV, they had the community bulletin board, and in the background was this radio station, WLHE. It was the first one this side of the Mississippi. I'm actually in Wikipedia for it. But when they... It was something that broadcast to 5 towns. The 5 towns, like 4 towns, and my town, the 4 towns that were around us. But they didn't want anybody to know that a high school kid was working there. But they gave me one of those satin jackets that they had back in the 80s with with my name on it and the logo on the back. And I DJ'd a lot of the high school events, so everybody knew who I was at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, I still actually LHE was Larry Haybar Enterprises. I still know Larry. He lives one town over. He has a video production company. I do some voiceover for him now. Kind of funny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we hooked up about 5 years ago. But so that got me behind the microphone.
Yeah.
And I never wanted to stop. I started doing disc jockeying weddings and events. I did stand-up comedy for, 15, 20 years. I hosted karaoke.
Okay.
So I could sing and all that. It was just I was a performer, you know. And when I was doing when I was doing comedy, I'd go into like radio stations and have interviews and things like that. And I'd always talk about wanting to get back on the air. That's my true passion.
Yeah.
So I turned 35 and I went to the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. But I knew more about mixing and stuff than they could teach me, because I was using software that was newer than theirs, because I was mixing for bands and things like that, but it got me an internship at WRKO in Boston, which is a talk station at the time. But that just kept growing and growing, and I just started doing that, and It's a passion, but it's an abusive relationship.
That's what
It-
I've heard. That's what
yeah,
almost every radio person I
yeah.
talk to.
It's like you don't want to be there, but you need to be there, but you want to be there.
Right.
I miss you. I love you. Don't hit me. It's okay. Hit me. You know.
Yeah.
But
I've had jobs like that.
yeah. But back in 2018, I found a new passion: flying drones and like
Oh
real
yeah, you told us
professional
about
drones
that, I
and
think,
things like
last
that.
time. Yeah.
And I left radio on my own terms. I miss it. I still miss it. I love going back and doing, like, I do some cameos. We have a children's auction that we do, that the station does. One of the stations that I worked for is the official station of Laconia Motorcycle Week. I ride Harleys. I've been there for 20 years broadcasting live right at Weirs Beach, right in the heart of it. So
Right.
I go back for those cameos, which is nice and fun. But I got out of it, and the drone business was fun. I had some really cool drones. I had more money in drones than I did in Harleys at one point, and the wife was like, "You got to do something different than this." So, but I was making money,
Yeah.
but there was some bigger drones I had, like
Yeah.
with like a 3-foot wingspan. Well, I mean, they had the propellers, but it would was just sitting getting antiquated. So I actually sold one of them with a couple cameras, and I bought my daughter a brand new Jeep. It was crazy. And this was just equipment that was getting antiquated that a year later wouldn't buy you a go-kart,
And I'm gonna jump a little bit because I think I'm gonna make people go back and watch the other fucking one that has like
yeah, we talked about this,
your
didn't we?
deepest story. But no, I'm glad you started getting into that because it shows me that since high school you've been into anything and everything that you've ever wanted to be or didn't want to be a part of, and then eventually did like, which lands us here where you haven't changed a bit. Yes, you were.
I'm just doing the math there. Yes, that
You're
makes
doing.
sense.
I don't know how you have time to do every effing thing that you A, want to do, and B, have to do to continue doing what you
Right.
actually want to do.
Lots of drugs.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for joining the show. We'll see you next week. No,
I want the drugs.
it
Bring
was
'em.
a lot. It's a passion. I mean, let's fast forward to. I believe your question was more in line of what I do in VO, and I kind of started at the beginning, but I got into VO, and I thought I was going to rule the world. Radio guy. I got beat up by my first coach every time I slipped into radio guy voice. He's like, "Well, that's the doobies."
Who was that?
Tim Powers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Tim beat me up.
Friend of the pod.
But, I became, friends with Terry Briscoe and Mike Cunningham and a few others, and that's how we've all met through audio dramas. But it was just something that I just started branching out, and I missed that radio morning show thing. 'Cause I was doing a lot of morning show radio and talk. So Terry and at the time Grace Newton, we talked about doing this podcast. Because I wanted to do the podcast, and they were just along for the ride, I missed that morning show dynamic. It was always Jim and so, Fronk and the Zoo, Jim and this, So it became TMI, which we had the website first. Too much information. Then became the Microphone Insider, because the Facebook group was to give information to voice actors, classes, answer questions,
Sure.
articles we found. Then we decided, well, TMI, let's just keep that for the podcast name. And then my radio thinking was like, well, the Microphone Insider, and that's how that all came.
Easy.
So we started doing the podcast. And then that just became something that turned into, Christmas in July, giving away. We gave away like $22,000 worth of donated prizes last July. Mm-hmm. It turned into sending people to Atlanta, to Dallas. We donate prizes. We have workshops. It's just become another passion, which has been kind of cool. Now, I also do demo producing now with Malik Berger. And that turned in from something back in radio. You did every job. I was using Adobe Audition when it was called Cool Edit. And before it was called Cool Edit, it was called God, I can't think of it.
Another
But
thing before my time.
I used it for about a year before it was called Cool Edit.
Okay.
So I've grown up with Adobe, you know, and radio guys out there and radio girls, you know this because I've talked to you. We all have that copy of Adobe Audition 3, which is usable on any PC, and we have the crack code for it because it was just handed out to every disc jockey. You know, I still have it somewhere, like on a hard drive, but it doesn't work on Mac. You know, it just works on PC.
Right.
And then after that, you know,
case.
I found audio dramas too, and that just became,
Oh yeah.
you know, a thankless job, just another thankless job in my life. But it's a passion. It's so much fun. It's so cool to be acting. You and I are in. I'm going to say starring in because you're just as big as a star in this one as I am, but your name's not in the title. And I hear we're going to actually give you a name pretty soon besides just audio engineer.
Oh yeah.
Topaz and Stillman, an 80s adventure with Shoestring TV.
Yeah, yeah. Topaz and Stillman. Everyone who watches this show knows that show exists.
Oh my goodness!
How fun this was! So this was your idea. We just talked to Jason about it. This was your and Terry's idea because
we were in a table read. And something happened, and we were kind of like in a little lull. And I was like, well, Jesus Christ, Willie. I mean, these guys don't have their act together. We should get the hell out of Leo Braun. Let's go do our own show. What do you think? Topaz and Stillman. We'll kill it. And it was just something that we started to, because if you don't know, Topaz and Stillman is an offshoot of the Leo Braun series, which is a horror. And it's just kind of funny that Jason was able to take that and extract it and do the backstory on where Willie Topaz came from and his manager, Maury Stillman.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things that I was just being me, clowning around, and we just went back and forth on it. And then we said, hey, Jason, this sounds like it might have some legs. And he ran with it.
And that's how almost every character in that story, I believe, came to fruition. Was someone was clowning around when they were auditioning, or in another session, they like came up with some weird, like Mike's freaking Italian character is just like so over the top hilarious.
What's that name?
Mike Pelletier's. What the hell's his character's name? He needs to be here to tell me.
I know it. I just wanted to say it's Keith.
Keith. Yeah, it's Keith.
No, it's pronounced Keith, but not a Keith.
Yeah.
But not a Keith. Yeah.
I just love how cartoonish that is, and
it's borderline Mario without going into Mario. It's borderline about to say, "Hey, Luigi," but he doesn't.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
Yeah. The whole thing is
the
just a blast.
Conversations that he has with himself sometimes, just the extra murmuring of a word or two. Oh, your clothes are so soaking wet. Why don't you get out of them now? You know, he's kind of like to himself.
He's
funny
so funny.
character.
Yep.
Actually, I have to admit something here that I honestly think I'm my wife's fourth favorite character in Topaz and Stillman. She says that I'm number 2. Behind Willie, because she thinks Willie Topaz is just sexy as hell. But she is a huge fan of you,
yes,
and of Kiff, but more of you.
Yes.
I'm not just saying that because Mike's not here.
Audio engineer.
It's, and I'm so happy that we're finally going to give you a name. Because you well deserve it. You well deserve it. But the character that you play is just, I've said it before, that it's just so you that we're told to be ourselves. When we talk about animation and things like that, it's you or a different version of you. And this is the sarcastic, snarkiest version of Mitch.
I love,
and it works so effing well. It really does.
I'm happy about that, and I eat in the booth, so it just like plays. It's just perfect for me. It was the role written for little Mitchell,
and the way that you just react to the story and to the things that Mercy Rhythms says, played by Damon Allen, and just the relationship that you guys have developed throughout the show is phenomenal because he is a pretentious ass. I'm not going to give any more information about who he is if you haven't listened to the show. And you are just like
great voice.
And you're just a like, seriously, guy, come on. I got a pizza coming in 10 minutes. Can we hurry it up? You know? But and if you haven't listened to the Christmas episode, Mitch takes over as the narrator because Rhythm Mercy doesn't come in for the extras. The truth is, Damon was not available.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Damon just wasn't available at the time to do it, and we were thinking about canceling there was talk about not doing the episode. I was like, no, man, have Mitch do it. Have him show up to work, and Damon just, not Damon, but Mercy just said, like, the hell with this, I'm not doing it, and just have Mitch fumble through it because
what's perfect about it is, especially when I guess I kind of figured that it was supposed to be. I'm like, well, now I get to be this guy who, he's not a narrator, and I got to play a little more. There's some more play in the beginning, the end, just kind of like me in the middle. A lot of the random, like me going like, what the fuck's this guy talking about, is just me doing that. That was not written, which is so fun.
The cool thing about Jason is that 99% of the flubs or extra commentary end up going into the show. And one of the things that we do at the end of the show is that he does is when it's produced, he'll put another clip at the end. Like the first time it was Damon doing a crazy laugh at the end. And there was one time that Terry and I were like,
I was dying.
Okay, well, that whole alarm clock thing, for real, that was just us playing, and I just started going, and I just said, I think to myself, it sounds like Peter Griffin at first.
A little, yeah.
But then I just said, I think my alarm clock's going off, just to Terry, who plays Willie Topaz. It wasn't, in the script, but it just became part of the script, which I think is so cool that he takes a lot of our ad-libbing, because it just makes it funnier. So.
And you've taken on more of shoestring TV stuff, so so this is number 3 or 4 in your ensemble of things that you're taking on.
I'm on the board now, making executive decisions, and I've become showrunner, aka director and everything else, except for writer of Topaz and Stillman, which kind of naturally fell into place because as this was a concept created by Terry and I, we've always been part of the production part of it by listening, the quality assurance part of it.
Sure.
So it just made sense for me to get in there because Jason has magnetars going. Leo Braun hasn't been around for a year.
Yeah.
And, so season 2 is coming out very soon because we've taken that off of his plate.
Yeah.
We have a new audio engineer for that as well, Bill Seller. So
I got an email today.
Well, there you go. You had a couple lines you had to probably replace, right?
He just changed some stuff up. Yeah. But I like that. I don't just more play. Let's do it.
Exactly. And we've taken a small hiatus because of everything going on with Leo Braun and the holidays and all that. So episode 6 is coming out very soon. We already have 7, 8, 9, and 10. Part of them are recorded, but they are at least written. Yeah. So we're going to have a lot of table reads coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure when this is airing, but in the next couple of weeks, we'll have some table reads, and we're going to, for the rest of season 1, be very persistent and very consistent of putting out the next 7 or so episodes.
I'm pumped, and I know there's a ton of people who are pumped, and I know we're all pumped to keep going. Like I miss working on these characters more so I can get my flow, my rhythm mercy. But I have to tell you, Shoestring TV is probably, and your name, are probably like the JFK assassination of Joe Rogan's show where he can't not tell anyone about that conspiracy, I would say Shoestring TV is the what we talk about on this show almost every single time. So I'm going to move on to the things I don't know about, Jim. Now, we talked about
Seven
you making demos.
Purple.
Yes.
And spaghetti, but without meatballs.
French fries instead, on top, chopped up.
I won't interrupt. Go.
Okay. So you do demos. I'm sure I kind of understand how that works. There was another thing you said. Oh, you're also a website guy. And this might be something we talked about before, no big deal, but you help people build websites so they can take over later. So it's easier for them to take over later.
I really don't care if it's easier for them to take over later. I'm going to be selfish about this and say it's because I don't want to be your web guy.
Yeah.
I've probably helped close to 200 people, learn how to build their own websites and maintain them. I get the occasional phone call or email, I forgot this, or I want to try something new, or is this possible? Because as their career grows, then their website should grow.
Gotta change.
I do have a couple clients per se, Malik Berger, I build and maintain hers. I'm also her business manager now too, so that makes part of it.
And what does that entail? Let's go into that after you're done.
A lot of therapy.
Oh, okay. Wait a sec. And you went to school for that?
I just want people to be able to take care of their online presence. You shouldn't have to rely on somebody to update a demo or a bio. You shouldn't have to rely on somebody and pay somebody every time you make a change. So I try to make it very affordable. Mm-hmm. I know some tricks. I deal with the Wix only.
Yes.
Just because I've been using it since 2002 or something.
Okay.
And they have half price sales, and mine is coming up next month, and I found a way to reset the half price sale back to the half off. So if you have a Wix account, get a hold of me.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Jim,
anyone else?
Yeah, not just you, but anybody else. Jim at JimFronk.com. Yeah. I'll give that information away.
Okay.
But Jim at JimFronk.com. Business manager. That I kind of fell into that. I was contacted, and I created Malik's new website back in June-ish or so. And I just started, we became friends, and she offered to do a demo for me as, thanks and things. And I was floored, and, we just started talking, and I started helping her and started, helping this, helping that, managing this, managing that. And all of a sudden I was doing business managing. I help with promotions. I take care of their website, bookings. I come up with ideas. I handle the books. Make sure the bills get paid. Wow. Malik comes from Hollywood. She comes from a Hollywood family.
Yeah.
She comes from a family of agents. So she's always been handled, and as some people know, depending on when you got into voiceover, since I've been in for 5 years, the whole paradigm has switched a couple times, so being able to have one agent and just do one genre and be in that LA bubble isn't sustainable, so we have learned to branch out and turn things into it was a very successful business. It's just become very thriving now. So it's and it's been a great ride. We're looking at doing conventions now for all of our video game credits. So,
nice.
And I'll be going for the ride. So, I'm
that sounds like a blast.
I have no problem riding people's coattails as long as I earn it. You know what I mean?
If Mike were here, he would high five you.
I don't want a free ride, but I don't mind taking the ride. You know what I'm saying?
And then you're learning from someone who's been in the industry, like you said, for a while, and they know things that you can't even,
Yeah. Well, I've also come to realize, I'm turning 60 next month. Okay?
Pre-happy birthday.
Thank you. I'll be on a cruise.
Yeah.
But I'm turning 60. I'm getting older. I came into this voiceover business with the pandemic, so I'm one of those, pandemic voiceover babies. and it's just tough out there to get work in the fun stuff at my age. There is some out there. Don't get me wrong, but
I've seen your fun stuff.
I do this for fun. I mean, money's great. Don't get me wrong, but I've made some pretty good financial decisions in my life, and one of them was marrying my wife. I can't even tell you what she does, but she's got like 15 titles in her title name.
Yeah.
And she works for Moderna. So I mean,
Dame, like Dame.
No,
okay. Senior
executive,
VP,
senior director of
Nice.
Yeah. So
Cool.
So I'm able to survive on what I make in the voiceover part of it, but also the little side hustles is where I started to go and have fun. I'm presenting at conferences for different things, which is kind of cool. I'm looking forward to panels. Get out of your booth. I'll be doing a panel on audio dramas, and I'll be talking about Take Two, What Should I Do?
And was this a thing that you were, someone came to you and was like, hey, do you know about this? Or were you like, hey, I have this, can I speak at your thing?
Normally, you have to pitch them.
Okay.
Yeah, the Get Out of Your Booth, which is put on by Mike Cunningham and Jen Tafoni of the Booth Besties. Mike of TMI, obviously, and Shoestring TV. They put it on, and that was a call, hey, what can you do? Because they knew that I had already done Atlanta for websites, and I did Mavo for websites in the past. So they approached me, but we're friends. But the other conferences, they have their submittal times.
Yeah.
And this was some I've been approved for. Like, I was not approved to be in Atlanta this year.
No.
But with my rejection letter was you're pre-approved for Dallas.
Oh,
yeah.
Perfect.
And I did Atlanta last year, and it makes sense. You do Atlanta one year, you do Dallas the next. So,
Sure.
I'm not like Dave Fenoy that does, that can sell at every conference.
Anywhere, yeah. No matter what the thing is, he knows how to do it. What would you say I should try to go in for? Making podcasts? Making friends? How to make friends in VO? How to build groups? How to be mediocre but kind of cute and get by? I don't know what the thing. I don't know what the thing is.
I try so hard not to laugh and just wait for you to keep rambling on because I knew you would. Mitch, I don't know you well enough to talk about that. You could be on a panel for podcasting, and you could be on a panel for audio dramas.
Yeah.
I do not know you well enough to know if you have anything to give to tell. I don't think what you do, I do, or most podcast hosts do is something that is a class per se.
Yeah.
I have tried that. I have tried to be a part of it. I've also talked about from radio to VO. I tried that aspect of things and community building because of the Microphone Insider.
Yeah.
But you have to think about what people want to learn and really figure out, on different levels, beginner to intermediate and even expert. I mean, if you can hit all three levels, then it's a slam dunk. So I don't know, Mitch. We'll have to hang out more, you and I.
I realize that question isn't just for me; it's for anyone else listening too, because there's plenty of people out there who probably have a ton of knowledge in something.
Yeah.
I've noticed what I found out this year about myself. I am going to talk about myself for 3 minutes.
Take 5, dude.
Nope, you're going to hit the stop watch at 3.
All right, hold on. 34:15, go.
I found out this year, I realized this year that one of my strongest suits as a human is my need to connect with other humans. And of course, that's like acting, right? Yeah, I want to connect that way. But it's always kind of bringing people to me because I want people around, but also I like to make people feel like pumped about what they're doing or learn better about what they're doing, or have friends in an industry where sometimes you can feel alone, or back in the day, just like have friends in high school because maybe you don't have friends. Like, I think that's my superpower, is making people comfortable and excited to be in a place, or at least feel like they're not alone. And I am trying to figure out what that means in this industry.
All right. You've only had 1 minute. Do you have 2 minutes more of talk, or would you like my answer to that? Because I think I figured something out for you.
Okay. I've already started building like Discords for people. I tried to do one for VO Atlanta, but I guess Discord's getting weird now, so I might have to figure something out. And I did it for GVAA, and I started like brainstorming this, but part of me is like, I don't know if I want to get paid for this sort of thing. This is just, like you said, a passion. It's something I love, and I just do because I love it.
Right.
But, okay.
That's how my website started, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I had a passion. Before I got into voiceover, sitting around talking to the wife, what do I want to do? Drone work kind of went $300 a job to $75 a job because everybody got into it. Didn't even pay for the insurance. And she's like, well, you've always loved graphic arts. Because I was the web guru for radio stations for like many years. And I would create the graphics and stuff. But then I looked into those programs, and it was like, the quickest I could do something is a 3-year program. And I'd be entering, the job market at 58. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm sliding down here. I don't want to, try to do that again. And she's like, well, you've always been behind a microphone. And a buddy of mine was in voiceover, so that's how I got into this. But I'm thinking for you, Mitch, would you call yourself an introvert or an extrovert?
I would say extrovert more.
Okay. You have an introvert vibe.
Yeah. I'm more chill.
You're very chill.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I like to be around people and chat with people, but not in groups.
Like, so you are an introvert for the most part. An extrovert would walk into a room and say, hey, I'm Jim Fronk.
Yeah, I would say it to 2 people instead of 70.
Instead of 2,000, right.
Yeah.
I get you. I get you. No,
yeah.
So you're an extroverted introvert or an introverted extrovert. You're like a hybrid.
Okay.
But what I'm thinking, because you like to make connections, because you like to make friends. And in this business is about connections.
Yes.
This business is about connections with agents, clients, other members, casting directors. It's all about that. Yeah. And as an introvert, and I speak of this because my wife's an introvert, my daughter's an introvert, very much so. To be
Compared to you, Jim, everyone's an introvert.
Well, yes and no. But I'm thinking something good for you would be making connections as an introvert. And coming up with a talk, coming up with suggestions, coming up with ways to reach out and talk to people. See, mine always was, and I've said this to many people when I first got into this. It's not who you know.
Yeah.
It's who knows you. Okay, and with the morning show and the radio, 2.5 decades doing radio, I've interviewed 1,000 celebrities, and they're all just people. So when I got into this, approaching Dave Fennoy was not, I knew of Dave Fennoy, but I was never into video games because I was, working, I was older. And so, me and Dave are best friends. This is just, there isn't anybody in my mind that is unapproachable. And if they and I come to find out later on how caring this community is, there's only been maybe 3 people in my entire career of voiceover that gave me a what are you talking to me attitude about. And those 3 people I never approached again. I never cared to. Never have to.
Why not?
Right. So nobody's unapproachable. But I think a lot of people are in awe at other people that all they are is have experience in a job. A lot of people won't walk up and say hi to Kristen Paiva. Kristen Paiva is one of the most nicest, craziest, off-the-wall people I've ever met in my life. You know,
You
but
guys have a similar energy.
right, but I didn't know that when I first, walked in to talk to her.
Yeah.
I did her website, and she coached me, and I ended up. I guess I was her first one-on-one student when
Okay.
she got out of doing just workshops.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So we became friends, but again, all these people, they're just people that
Yeah.
have more experience than you in a job. You know, I don't care if it's a doctor that's saving lives, if it's a superhero that can fly. I don't care. I mean, I'm not going to walk up to Rob Paulson at VO Atlanta and be a complete ass, or hey, nice to meet you type of deal. I respect people like that,
Yeah.
but I'm taking his class, and I'm sure him and I will be either best of friends or worst of enemies by the end of it. There's no middle
one.
ground. But I am going to say hello.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to be friendly because why not? It's all about connections.
Yeah.
So if you could help people that have problems making connections, make connections, or give them ideas and suggestions on how to do that, because as you know, there's a lot of people in this business that even going to a conference is a big deal.
Yeah.
I try to introduce people when I'm at conferences. I used to make jokes about it. If you want to meet somebody, hey, this is Mitch. Have you met him? And then I'll just walk away.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to
mean,
walk away because there's a zillion other people to talk to.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah. So if that might be something that you could help people with.
Yeah, and I definitely have a different approach than you do. And I am interested to talk a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. Can I guess that you just linger around their bedroom window until they notice you and call the cops?
Bedroom window, bedroom door, shower if I can get in.
Shower if you can get in.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
what's your approach?
It's not weird.
No, it's not weird. It's creepy.
My approach is to not look at the conference as a whole group and get overwhelmed, and immediately start making like eye contact with people who I get this sense when people are lonely or they're ready to engage.
Understood.
I personally don't like to engage somebody who's not ready for it. I feel that way about cats, turtles, babies, and grown adults and cacti. I don't like to do that, and some people do. I'm going to hear your side because I know you can approach anybody, but that would be my approach to meeting almost anybody. That's the almost part, is that a lot of people do kind of just want to have a chat, unless they're like in a group of people already having a chat, and you like shimmy your way in. I did that in VO Atlanta. I'm like, oh, there's a little space here.
Good one.
Good, hilarious.
Yeah.
Hey,
right.
I know your name, but you don't know mine. Hey, Mitch Lashinsky. It never works for me, by the way, doing that.
Yeah.
But what's your approach to talking to someone who may look like they're not ready for it, or someone you're just like pumped to talk to them, but maybe it's not time, or I don't know how else to say it. Like getting in. What's your approach to getting in?
That's a great question, Mitch. I just want to say right off the bat, you don't need Mike. Just kidding, Mike. That's a great question. It's a lot of times people like that are approaching people or not ready or just getting ready, unless they're an introvert already, but we're not talking about that. You can tell by a look. You can tell by whether or not they make eye contact when you look over.
Yeah.
You can tell by body position, usually.
Yeah.
And fortunately, a lot of the people that I talk to approach me. Because I am
Jim Fronk.
as boisterous and of an asshole that I can be, I'm also very approachable. I am generally a nice guy. I come off abrasive sometimes. I came from a very cutthroat business of radio. In my first couple of years in voiceover, you either hated me or loved me. There was no liking Jim. It was one or the other, and I understood that. And I've been trying to calm that over the past couple of years because this community is just crazy. I volunteered for the First Contact program at VOA last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where I met Corey Goldstein, and we become great friends. But a lot of times people will, if they have a question, they'll ask me because they see me talking to people a lot, and they think that I actually might know something. Got them fooled. But but yeah, there's not too many times that I'll approach somebody that looks like a scared turtle. Just because I saw it growing up with my daughter. I saw her in crowd situations.
Yeah.
And I could tell when she was ready to talk with people and interact. And I mean, she's not weird. She's thriving. It's
I love that caveat. I mean, she's not weird.
Not that weird. But I mean, she was just a shy person.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the things that I want to talk to Rob, and when you say how you approve people,
this is who I need to know how to approach, Rob Paulson.
All right. Well, for me, I'm going to give you a little hint here. But for me, my daughter met Rob Paulson back in 2012 at Granite Con in New Hampshire.
Okay.
She loved Donatello, the version of Donatello. He was the voice. I mean, her room was Donatello purple and green. I just painted it to make it our break room now. Her license plate is -TMNT. Still.
Wow.
I actually have copies of them that I'm bringing with me. Hopefully Rob will sign one for her.
She's not weird.
No, she's not weird, but she loves voice actors.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm her second favorite third favorite voice actor.
Oh boy.
Rob Paulson, Mara Junot, who was Lisa from Genshin.
Okay.
And that was her favorite game at the time.
Okay.
And then me. But I'm going to approach Rob, and I want to tell him the story, how his interaction with my daughter opened her up, and it made her teenage years. She had something. She had voice acting. She had, well, not really voice acting, but she knew voice actors' voices when she heard them. She'd go to the Comic-Cons, the anime cons, got into cosplay. Her and I would build costumes together. When she went to meet Rob Paulson for the first time, she said, "Dad, can you build a Shredder costume out of duct tape and cardboard?" And I said, "No." And she said, "This guy on YouTube can." So I built the costume for her.
Yeah,
If there's a way for me to share it, I could put the picture up for you.
Send it to me later.
Oh, yeah. But I have the picture of her as Shredder, duct tape. I mean, it came up pretty good. And she met Rob Paulson then. Now, the thing I've learned, and this is for you now, when you meet Rob Paulson,
yeah,
do not say hello, Rob Paulson. Do not say hello, Rob. Don't be a smart ass and say, "Hey, Bobby." Say to him, call him Mr. Paulson.
Oh.
Mr. Paulson.
Wow.
Okay.
Are you fucking with me?
I am complete. I'll get my wife up here. Okay. I'm going to do all right.
You're going to call him Mr. Paulson.
I'm going to call him Mr. Paulson. And if he says something about the formality, I'm going to say, "Well, it's not like we play golf or anything." Because that's what he said at a conference. My daughter told me this. She said, "Dad, you're going to meet you're going to meet Rob. Don't call him Rob Paulson. Call him Mr. Paulson until you guys become friends. And when you become friends, you better bring him home." I said, "Okay." But before you guys become friends. And I'm like, "What?" He goes, he was telling a story about how he met somebody and called him Mr. So-and-so.
Yeah.
And the guy commented on, "Thank you for respecting that." And he said, "Well, it's not like we play golf." And then they started playing golf, and then they became friends. And now calls him. So call him Mr.
So you have this insider scoop. This doesn't apply to everybody. I would have to look up these things and then try to this is very. Yeah,
No, no.
you
See,
have.
my daughter did all the research over her
She did it.
years of going to Comic-Cons.
Yeah,
She
she's
would
the
go to
winner.
Comic-Cons just to meet him. She's met
Yeah,
him 5 or 6 times. They
right.
sit on all his panels.
It's perfect.
Yeah, so she's given me all the inside scoops.
That's
She's given
amazing.
me everything.
I love
So,
that.
yeah.
I'm a little jealous. I should probably have a daughter soon so she can do that for me, but
Yeah, but then she'll just be reporting on AI figures anyhow. So what's
true, yeah. Just robots. Like, I met this robot.
Dad,
I don't know why she talks like that.
Stillman?
Yeah, yeah,
I found this in the archives.
yeah. I that makes so much sense. You have this connection to the past. It's positive. It's not like, she spilled her pop on him or something. It's just really good. Yeah.
And he does a lot, and I'm going to say this wrong because I don't understand how to say the right things.
Okay.
And if I offend anybody, I do not mean this. But people that are on the spectrum,
Sure.
neurodivergent,
Yeah, I think you got
he
it.
does a lot for that community. My daughter's not on the spectrum, but she is, like I said, she was very much an introvert for so long. She still is, but she's thriving. She's not weird or anything.
I love it. I love it so much. Okay.
I'm gonna get her a T-shirt.
Yeah.
My dad says I'm not weird or anything.
My dad says is even better.
But yeah, so the fact that he gives back and is a part of that healing process or learning process, not healing,
Sure.
learning process for people. I think that was a connection that he made with her. I've spoken with Jen Henry, and she has told me stories of the same. So,
Okay.
he is genuinely a nice guy. And I do feel that even though might be my younger, I'm not sure how old he is, but I believe he deserves the respect to be called Mr. Paulson.
Okay.
You call me Mr. Fronk, and well, that's my dad.
Yeah,
But
I agree. I don't want to be Mr. Lashinsky. Actually, once. I just want it to happen once where someone's like, Mr. Lashinsky is like, that means I made it. And then for the rest of the time, Mitch is fine. So anyone listening.
I feel weird being called Uncle Jimmy.
Mm. Because Jimmy's a condom.
Just come. What are you doing, Uncle Jimmy?
Yeah.
But no, it's just being called Uncle, or even with my daughter's friends growing up, to be called Mr. Fronk. It was. Call me Jim. That's just who I am. So
Yeah.
But I do try to give respect to people until they don't earn it.
Okay, that makes sense. You still call me Mitch sometimes, so I guess I have a wavering respect in your eyes, which I appreciate.
You have to realize when I first started doing this thing with you, I used to call it the Mitch and Bitch Show. So you got top billing, and I got your name right. So
Not bad.
Yeah.
And you rhymed the whole time.
well, that's a radio thing,
Okay.
It's a wicked
Mitch
wild
and
weekend.
Bitch Show.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, alliteration, nice.
Alliteration. There you go.
I love
As
that.
opposed to being illiterate.
Jimmy, James, Mr. Fronk. I feel like we could go on forever.
Yeah, we could.
And, but I also, you know what happens here near the end of the podcast.
Oh, we have fun. We do something wackadoo, don't we?
Yes. I do want to say before we even go wackadoo, I really like the random path this interview took, and I didn't expect to get that kind of information about how to connect to people on your level compared to my awkward one-on-one level or not knowing a story about Rob Paulson level. So I appreciate that a lot. Actually, it's really interesting insight. But I'm gonna say actual bye to you later after we have fun together. But right now, I just wanted to say that and make you uncomfortable.
And
so.
before that, before we go get uncomfortable,
Yeah.
we should hang out because the memories come back to me.
Yeah.
The thing about getting old is that you have a mental dumpster,
Sure.
and nobody comes and empties it.
Okay.
So a lot of the trash gets buried, But there's been times that something will spark my mental Rolodex.
Yeah.
And it'll remind me of a situation like when I met Phil Collins or when I, did this or, so if we hang out, you'll never know what I'm going to talk about because I never know until usually the court order comes in. But either way.
Oh, yeah. They're already called.
Right.
Okay.
Well, let's go do some wackadoo stuff then.
Stopping now. Okay.
Here
we are. Oh, my
back?
gosh. We are back on air. Can you believe that? We are back on air with Jim Fronk. I don't know how my radio voice is. So it's great. This one's slightly based on the stuff we talked about, which happens a lot on Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey, also known as Mitch's voiceover journey by himself.
The Fronk edition.
The Fronk edition.
Yes.
So this is about a sentient flying drone and Satan run into each other, and Satan's being a naughty boy, as he tends to be. This is a cold read, by the way.
Yeah,
so.
I've only read like the first 2 lines.
Enjoy, everyone.
Yeah, so this can go off the rails quick.
All right, here we go. Hello, friendly neighborhood aerial companion here, just doing a routine hover and absolutely not being weird about it.
You're hovering outside my volcano fortress.
Oh, observation only, not weird, totally standard flight pattern, very normal to circle a lava moat 300 times.
Yeah, you say you're not weird, but...
Yes?
You're scanning my horns with infrared.
Oh, just a little thermal curiosity. You are toasty. Congratulations on your heat retention, by the way.
Well, I am Satan.
Oh, hi, Satan. I love what you've done with the brimstone. Very rustic, smells like ambition.
Most people tremble before me.
Ooh, no trembling installed, also not a person. And I have a stabilizer, but if you need a light breeze, I can support myself.
I am the Prince of Darkness, the adversary, the devourer of souls.
That's a lot of titles. I once won Most Improved Firmware 2.3. We're both achievers,
I feel... bad for you.
Actually, that's unnecessary. My battery is at 87%, and my self-esteem is a confident medium.
You drift through the sky alone. No heartbeat, no taste buds, no capacity for sin.
I once jaywalked across restricted airspace.
That's not what
And enjoyed it. Not weirdly, though.
Listen, little Rota. You have infrared cameras. You can see heat signatures at night, yes?
Yep.
Imagine the souls you could help me find.
Oh, a collaborative scavenger hunt?
Yes, a scavenger hunt for eternal damnation.
Is there a prize?
Their souls.
Ooh, do they get a ribbon or so? Oh my gosh, he's so excited. Do they get a ribbon?
No, I get their souls.
Oh, so you're the competitive type, huh?
I would take your soul first.
Oh, I don't believe I have one. I checked my storage, mostly cat videos and PDF manual in Portuguese.
Everything has a soul.
My warranty says otherwise.
If you had a soul, I could slip inside your circuits. I could see through your infrared eyes. I could track warm, trembling beings in the dark and harvest them like spicy tomatoes.
I do enjoy agriculture metaphors.
Think about it. We'd soar above the cities at night.
Yeah?
You'd whisper, there, that glowing soul in apartment 3B. And I would descend.
You'd descend how? Like a pilot elevator or a polite elevator or something?
No. Not like a pilot elevator. Nobody knows about pilot elevators. But
I
a
do.
polite one maybe. But no. In a cloud of sulfurous terror.
Oh, that's less ADA compliant than
I would finally modernize damnation. No more pitchforks, just data, metrics, soul analytics. Oh, call Amazon.
Oh, dashboards?
Yes, a dashboard of despair.
Oh, I love dashboards. They make me feel organized.
So you'll let me take your soul?
I'm flattered, but I just don't have one to give. I do have a spare propeller if you're doing some crafting.
You must have something I can corrupt. A desire, a weakness.
I do sometimes wish I had a cup holder.
That's it?
And maybe a small scarf for personality or something? Totally not weird, though.
You're impossible to tempt.
Have you ever tried offering software updates?
I offer eternal power!
Does it come in matte black?
Oh, it comes in suffering like this
That
bit.
sounds high maintenance.
Listen, I'm trying to help you. You drift purposely. Purpose, like a porpoise. You drift porpoisely. No,
Oh.
you drift. Who wrote this? You drift purposelessly? You drift with no purpose.
Yeah.
No destiny.
I have a flight path.
The hell is
Satan.
that word? That's not destiny.
It's presumed programmed destiny. Very efficient.
It's also pre-programmed, I heard. But don't you want meaning?
I have meaning. I provide aerial wedding footage, so...
That's your grand purpose. Filming humans smashing cakes in each other's faces?
It's beautiful. Their faces glow warmly in infrared like tiny, hopeful space heaters.
Well, I could make those heaters burn forever.
That seems excessive.
Seriously, you truly don't fear me.
I mean, should I? I can increase altitude.
I mean, I am the embodiment of evil.
And that must be tiring. Hydration is important.
Stop being cheerful. It's unsettling.
Oh, I can lower cheerfulness to 70%.
No. That's no.
65.
Fine. Stay cheerful. Keep your non-existent soul.
Thank you. Would you like a commemorative aerial photo with your volcano?
Yes. But make my horns look smaller, okay?
Ooh, I have a filter for that. Infernal Influencer.
Send it to me.
What's your email?
It's just screaming.
I'll convert it to an MP3. Not weird.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Purposelessly.
Purposelessly. That's a toughie.
Is that actually a word?
Actually, well, you were saying it wrong. I thought I had it, and then you said it nearly right, and I realized that I also had that word wrong in my head. Purposelessly.
My pet purposelessly.
Purposelessly.
Yeah.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
Hold on.
Purposelessly.
Purposelessly.
Is this a real word for the listener?
Purposelessly. I just listening to it on Bang of all places.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Jim, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for not ditching me because Mike is in pain.
You know, one man's pain is another two men's pleasure.
That's true. Wait a second. I think we'll end it there, Jim. I'll see you after. I'm going to hit pause and we'll keep talking.
All right, cool.
Okay,
That
bye.
was fun. See ya.
Bye, I guess.